Tonight, legalization in limbo. Minnesota lawmakers are going back and forth over recreational marijuana and its place in the state. Plus, some local college students are putting their skills to the test in designing a robot that could save the lives of American soldiers. And later in the show, we'll introduce you to a sweet friendship between a kid and a dog who share a struggle you might not believe.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. In this last full week of Minnesota's legislative session, the House is expected to pass a bill that would legalize recreational marijuana. But as CBS3's John Cardinelli reports, there's still a tough fight ahead in the Senate.
In the final week of the session, there's a renewed focus on legalizing recreational pot.
The consensus does seem to be that it is going to be moving to the floor in House.
The bill would allow those 21 and older to buy marijuana, with a person being allowed to have 1.5 ounces on them at a time and ownership of up to 8 plants. The DFL House seems to be on board.
We probably have the votes there. There's very broad support for it in the DFL caucus.
DFL Senator Jen McEwen says the bill is more than simply the legalization of marijuana.
There's lots of elements around why this is a good idea, ranging from financial, criminal justice, racial justice.
McEwen says key elements of the bill include expunging the records of those who have prior convictions involving marijuana, as well as a new source of state revenue.
Taxation of the use of legalized marijuana. That could be a huge revenue piece for Minnesota that we're really missing out on.
But the Republican-led Senate isn't entirely convinced now is the time for legalization.
As of right now, I cannot support the recreational use of marijuana.
Senator Jason Rarick says he and his fellow Republicans would like to see the current medical system be fixed before they pass a bill on recreational use.
The medical marijuana system is so expensive and broken, and so a lot of our discussions are, how can we fix the medical marijuana system and potentially have that be the answer to what people are truly looking for?
Senator Rarick also says the middle of a pandemic is no time to talk about recreational marijuana.
I just don't think the end of this session, with the federal money that's coming, trying to work out these budgets, too many things we should be focusing on ahead of this.
If passed by the House, it will be the first time a recreational marijuana bill advances in the Minnesota legislature. Meanwhile, Minnesota will get about $200 million more than it was expecting in COVID relief money. In all, the state will see $2.8 billion in federal aid. Governor Tim Walz hopes new guidelines over how states can spend that money might help speed up negotiations over the state's next budget. With the legislative session set to adjourn next Monday, Walz and the divided legislature's leaders have not agreed on budget targets yet. Some of the plans to improve Spirit Mountain moved forward at tonight's Duluth City Council meeting. On a 7-2 vote, councilors awarded a contract to an architecture firm that will now do a pre-design for chalet and campground renovations. City leaders hope that will make the ski hill more likely to receive state bonding money next year. Also at tonight's meeting, councilors took up a resolution calling for the city to forgive up to $900,000 of Spirit's debt. That was tabled until the next meeting. The mayor's new plan to invest $24 million into Spirit Mountain will also be taken up at future council meetings. Well, Dave's here for a first check of the weather. Dave, started out pretty chilly out there earlier today. Wasn't so bad later on in the day. How about tomorrow morning? Are we waking up to more frost?
You know, it's going to be chilly again tomorrow morning.
Okay.
A very similar range of temperatures, mid-20s to maybe mid-30s. Upper 30s is where we're supposed to be this time of year. So as we chatted earlier today, that was cool enough for some snow flurries. Yesterday afternoon, I saw a few in Ely. This morning, some were spotted in Hayward and even in my driveway in Duluth. But the Doppler map shows the clouds and the showers associated with a trough of lower pressure that just sprinkled on us is moving to the east and fading away as fresh high pressure takes over. So our short-term forecast is going to look kind of like the streets of Two Harbors right now, high and dry. Tonight, low temps will be a little brisk again, falling towards 30, but with a partly cloudy sky. And then tomorrow should be mostly sunny. We get to 60 degrees for a lot of towns. The normal is 61, so I've been hoping for a long time we're going to beat normal And if not tomorrow, I think come Wednesday, a warm spell may settle in, but a dry spell as well. And we'll talk about when things will change on both counts coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. The FDA has expanded its emergency use authorization for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to include children as young as 12 years old. An advisory committee is expected to vote on the decision on Wednesday. CBS's Chris Martinez has more.
In clinical trials, Pfizer's vaccine was found to be 100% effective at preventing COVID-19 in 12 to 15-year-olds.
The response to the vaccine was excellent, and in fact, it was even better in the younger age group than in the 16 to 25 age group.
The announcement will give roughly 17 million children and teenagers access to the vaccine. The move is expected to be formally approved by a CDC advisory committee on Wednesday.
Vaccinating a younger population brings us closer to returning to a sense of normalcy and to ending the pandemic.
The CDC says the U.S. has seen about 1.5 million COVID-19 cases in kids between 11 and 17.
Often children don't get terribly sick from COVID-19. There are kids who do get very sick from it. And in addition, they can bring it asymptomatically around to their grandparents and others.
A recent study showed many parents will have to be convinced to immunize their children. Nearly a third said they would get their kids vaccinated as soon as possible. Almost half would either wait to see how well the vaccine works or would only comply if schools require it. Nearly a quarter said they won't get their children vaccinated. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Pfizer has already started to test its vaccines on children between 2 and 11 years old. And by the way, tomorrow, Governor Tim Walz will participate in a bipartisan virtual roundtable led by President Biden to highlight the state's successful vaccination efforts. Minnesota is being recognized as one of the top states for its vaccination and COVID-19 response. And to keep trending back to normal, Minnesota health officials are getting creative to try and get more people vaccinated around the state. That includes vaccines being offered in the downtown bus depot here in Duluth. Volunteer physicians are also working with a brewery in St. Paul on a pop-up event rewarding those who get shots with a free beer. And an Elk River clinic is offering shots to patients who are seeking help for other health care needs. Officials are hoping the creativity pays off and vaccinations will increase. Since early April, the statewide average for first doses administered has fallen from about 40,000 per day to fewer than 14,000 at the end of last week. And in Wisconsin, Republicans want to reinstate a measure that would require unemployed residents to search for work in order to qualify for benefits. The requirement was previously suspended by state officials last year because of the pandemic. The legislature's committee that has the power to reinstate the rule said they want to put it back in place by the end of the month. The rule is currently slated to go back into effect in July. New tonight at 10, UMD engineering students designed a robot that could be the difference between life or death for our nation's soldiers. Their assignment was to create a self-operating or remote-controlled robot. It needed to climb walls and bring sensors or cameras into a hostile situation. It was part of this year's nationwide Air Force Research Lab Challenge, and the students say this assignment was meaningful.
Everything actually came together, and then you talk to all these different subject matter experts that actually are out in the field doing this stuff, and just hearing their feedback on how they see this and they're excited that they could actually save lives, not have to go out in the field, risk their life. They can actually do something like this to go do stuff they've typically had to risk their neck for is really crazy to hear for coming out of college. Just kind of the ratifications and something like this. It's really awesome.
The challenge took place virtually this year. UMD students have won the challenge twice before. They're still waiting to see how they did this year. A major update to a story we brought you last week. The Gogebic Iron County Airport's only commercial airline, Boutique Airlines, will no longer offer flights in the area. This comes after an emergency exit door flew off the Boutique Airlines plane moments before takeoff Wednesday afternoon. At an airport county board meeting today, passengers on board that flight shared their frightening experience and called out the airline company for its lack of immediate response.
It happened so fast, and it was so unusual, we're all looking at each other saying, did that just really happen?
The airline did not specify why they are pulling out of their contract. They did, however, say they will continue flights there until the airport finds another option. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, Minnesota anglers are chomping at the bit to hit the water this weekend, why they say a good year of fishing is ahead.
Record low temp for the day. It's 23 degrees from 1981, and a couple of towns got pretty close to that this morning. Could do so again tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, we'll finally get back to normal temperatures, and they may stay with us for a while. We'll talk about how long a while coming up, of course, right after our break.
You're watching the CBS 3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, sports with Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS 3.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell, weeknights on CBS.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 100 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really? Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV for $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
Would you rather have hiccups for a week or get the worst haircut ever? Some choices are a lose-lose. But at Taco John's, choose 3 chicken street tacos or 3 grilled chicken softshell tacos for just $5. Win-win. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Injured? Call Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries including wrongful death, recreational vehicles, boats, and dog bites. Call anytime, 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
Fairview has expanded options to access your own physician. You can be seen in person, and we would encourage you to do so if that's recommended by your provider. We also have telephone and virtual visits available, as well as e-visits. Certainly it is safe to come into our clinics or our emergency room if that is needed, and we've got enhanced safety measures to keep you safe when you do come. We do want patients to feel comfortable to receive the care that they need when they need it.
Fairview Range, we're here.
Welcome to a caring community of older adults living safely in the company of others. Welcome to Benedictine Living Community Duluth. Located on the beautiful campus of the St. Scholastica Monastery, Benedictine Living Community Duluth offers a full range of living options and care services to live a full and healthy life. We are proud of our mission to serve our older adults and their families. We are Benedictine. Visit us today. Benedictine Living Community Duluth. Living fully, living well.
Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCopel. Weekday mornings on CBS.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
It was cooler than normal this morning, and today's high temps in the afternoon kept that trend going. Normal is 61, got to 51 in Hibbing and International Falls, 52 for Hayward and Ashland, only 45 from Watersmeet to Ironwood, and 45 degrees as well up towards Ely Country, and so we undercut it drastically. But tomorrow, finally, our rebound, our revenge, will get pretty close to 60. And then Wednesday, maybe we'll even push it to 65 and then dare to hold on to that for about 3 days. Current conditions here. We'll talk about those now before we talk more about the forecast. All right, now at this moment at the airport in Duluth, it is 36, so getting cool again. Relative humidity is 62% as temperature and dew point get closer, so fire danger usually goes down at night as those things happen. Wind is easterly, it's going 5 miles per hour, and our air pressure getting towards the high side again at 1,027 millibars. It was on the lower side this morning as a trough of low pressure brought clouds and some sprinkles, but we need a lot more rain than that, and there is a rain chance coming our way by the weekend. We talk more about that after this quick look at the current temps, where we're going anywhere from 33 to 40 in the Upper Peninsula, 34 to 39 for northwestern Wisconsin, including 39 in Superior. Then Minnesota numbers are running from Evelyn, Virginia, 35 to 41 down towards Moose Lake, and even 43 by the lake in Grand Marais. Lows tonight likely will run the range of roughly 25 to 35 once again. Doppler map right now shows the clouds continuing to push away and the scattered rain showers drying up as higher pressure takes over our region for another couple of days here to keep us on the drier side and the sunny side too. From Tuesday through Thursday, it should be fairly sunny indeed and pretty dry too. We need some rain. Next rain chance comes on Friday, but it's just a 30% chance for some showers. Probably not much at all. And it's only a 30% chance on Saturday too. Sunday though, well, latest charts indicate a 50-50 shot at something perhaps a little more substantial, so we'll pin our hopes on that. We may have to give up a weekend, but with the forest being threatened, you know, we can grin and bear it at least one weekend here. Tonight, what do we get around here in Minnesota? Low temps will run from 26 on the Mesabi range to 35 by the lake. Partly cloudy sky, northeasterly wind to 5 to 10 for Minnesotans. Should be a northerly wind for Wisconsin and the UP with lows there from 25 to 31. For tomorrow, with the high pressure clearing the sky, will be mostly sunny with 55 to 60 the high temps for that part of our world, Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula. A little bit cooler than normal, but getting closer. Minnesota, International Falls has the best chance of being normal. 61 degrees. The rest of us miss it by at least a little bit, but we should all meet and beat it Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mid-60s for the temps. Sunny through Thursday, then the slight rain chance on Friday, Saturday, building into a better shot on Sunday, which in turn gives way on Monday back towards sunnier conditions, but we do hold on to highs in the 60s all week long.
Thanks, Dave. It looks like this weekend's Minnesota fishing opener is going to be a big one. With warmer weather ahead, early numbers show even more people are expected to hit the water this year. CBS3 meteorologist Peter Kavakowskis heard from a local bait and tackle shop about what they are seeing heading into this weekend.
At Fisherman's Corner in Duluth, they are seeing a lot of anglers who are ready to hit the water once again.
We've seen a lot of folks getting in to get their licenses early, which is really helpful, instead of on the last day or the last moment.
In fact, the Minnesota DNR says 2021's total license sales so far are up nearly 58% compared to 2019. Matt King, the owner of Fisherman's Corner, says anglers are eager for a reason. He expects they should have some really good fishing in store after an early ice out on many inland lakes.
Fall ice season's going to be pretty good with the early spring. It should be, ahead of schedule from what it normally is. Those fish should be on the feed and ready to hit.
King says he expects the fish to be active, especially in the shallow, warmer waters. And the warm-up this week will only work to many anglers' benefit.
The weather warms up a little bit here. That should keep things active and keep those fish a little bit more on the bite.
Good fishing, bringing good news for bait and tackle shops all across the Northland.
I would expect it to be a very busy summer. Last year, even with all the COVID stuff going on and the closed downs, we had a lot of folks going out fishing, and I would expect it to be even bigger this year.
Minnesota's fishing opener is this Saturday. Ottertail County will host the governor's opener events. Still to come, dogs make some of the best companions, but for one Minnesota boy, a new puppy is giving him a way to advocate for himself.
CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChev.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChev.com, a better way to buy.
I'm Steve Scooby. I'm one of the general surgeons at St. Luke's. I love being a surgeon, and I take my job very seriously, but it's always nice to go home and spend time with my children and focus on having a balance between being at work and spending time with my family. Like most surgeons, I really enjoy being in the operating room. However, I think the best part of my job is being in clinic and seeing patients come back to me fixed and feeling better. Knowing that they're doing well after surgery is really satisfying to me.
As a person with a disability who values living independently and being safe, let's keep each other safe, Minnesota.
People with disabilities and people feeling the effects of aging. Roll up your sleeves and stay safe. Sign up today for Minnesota's Vaccine Connector program. Join the millions of people who have safely received a COVID-19 vaccine. It's the best thing you can do to support our local businesses and safely return to a more normal lifestyle. For further assistance, contact your COVID community coordinator at Access North.
Imagination makes a community grow. So bring us your best ideas. Let's see how we can help. National Bank of Commerce. We make more possible.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time. Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you.
Welcome to Delicious. Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand. Now, with an extra $500 spring bonus cash, get over $3,300 in total savings on a 2021 Escape. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
I chose a career that isn't easy, it's dangerous, and it's hard. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College has set me up with everything I need to succeed. Through challenging classes, longer defensive tactics training, and instructors who work in the industry, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is setting me up for success.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
You're on the boat at RJ Sports.
Coming up Tuesday on CBS3 this morning, we're hearing from Minnesota's governor as he urges legislative action to support working families. And we've got 6 days back in the forecast. Temperatures on the rise all week. So wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
CBS3 Sports is brought to you by St. Luke's.
A golden retriever puppy has been special since birth. Little Marvel was the only puppy from her Litchfield litter born without a front right paw. But as Marielle Mose shows us, she was destined to belong to a home that needed her most.
This puppy is a boy's best friend from the day Marvel made her way to her new home in Waconia just a week ago.
Wait, now we're gonna keep her forever?
All 3 kids in the Williams family instantly fell in love with this puppy, but it was 7-year-old Paxton who found his perfect match.
Because I have a prosthetic and she has 3 paws.
Paxton was born extremely premature and developed an infection in his leg that stunted the growth of it. 3 years ago, his parents made the decision to have doctors amputate his foot and give him a prosthetic leg so he could more easily walk and move around on his own. Meanwhile, Marvel was the only one in her litter born without a front right paw.
When she was born, we knew right away she has a special purpose.
Barb Feltz is the breeder of Rolling Oaks Goldens in Litchfield, where Marvel was born. Right away, she had a vision for Marvel's future.
We wanted her to go in a home with someone who had a limb difference.
That home is right here in Paxton's arms.
It was like they knew that they were special.
Stephanie and Blaine love to see their son and Marvel overcome their limb differences together, walking on their own along trails near their home. Dad capturing their matching yet miraculous strides.
The amount of emotions that were running through me at the time, it was just awesome because it was knowing that she was in the perfect place at the perfect time.
Stephanie has already seen Marvel make a difference in the way Paxton shares his own story with his friends and neighbors.
As he's introducing Marvel to kids in the neighborhood, like it gives him the opportunity to tell the kids, oh, she's missing a paw, she's like me, and like it just gives him that voice too to advocate for himself.
In Waconia.
She loves me.
As Marvel gets older, she may need a wheelchair or a prosthetic of her own to get around. But for now, the hope is someday Paxton will be able to run with his prosthetic and Marvel will be able to run right alongside him. Ahead in sports, Superior Baseball going for the big upset today. Kelly is in next with the highlights.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. Weeknights on CBS.
Would you like to lose a pound of fat a day?
You know, everyone just treats me a little bit differently, a little bit better. You know, I feel more comfortable in social situations.
Before, when I walked by a mirror, I would duck. I wouldn't look. Now it's like, where's that girl?
Order online or call today for a free consultation.
Update your appliances and get 11% off everything right now at Menards. Spruce up your home with appliances with top brands, including Whirlpool, Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Criteria. Check out the largest in-stock selection to take home today at the lowest prices. Upgrade to new energy-efficient appliances and save 11% off all of them. Save big money and get 11% off everything right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Mediacom is winning awards across the U.S., keeping you connected, keeping you safe, rising to the challenge, challenging the limits. Thanks to our award-winning employees, never settling, never backing down, always planning ahead, and always getting better. Mediacom is proud to be named 2021 U.S. Best Managed Company by Deloitte and the Wall Street Journal.
When building, you hire a team of specialists to ensure your house turns out exactly as you imagined. Major financial transitions like retirement deserve the same level of care and craftsmanship. At MPPL Financial, we assemble a diverse team of experts to develop a plan to ensure you only have to retire once. Call today for your free second opinion consultation so your retirement turns out exactly as you imagined. MPPL Financial. Answers to the most important questions of your life.
Northwest Outlet is open. See the largest selection of Carhartt in the area. Work clothing for men and women, sizes small to 5X. Jackets, coveralls, shirts, tees, bibs, jeans, and high-vis clothing to keep you safe and comfortable. Northwest Outlet's footwear department sells only the best boots. Names like Irish Setter, Georgia, Danner, Columbia, the North Face, Rocky, and more. Get outdoors again. Northwest Outlet's got your gear. In stock now at Northwest Outlet Superior.
Home Purchase supports our communities through a number of local charities. Hi, I'm Kyle Johansson. When we lost my grandmother to ovarian cancer, Home teamed up with MOCA to help find a cure. Every May, we take our support into the showrooms. Make a purchase at home and donate $10 to MOCA, and we'll give you an additional 10% off our sale prices.
It's a great time to buy something new for your home and help fund an early detection test for ovarian cancer.
Give $10 to MOCA, and we'll give you an extra 10% off the sale prices at home.
I lost a ton of weight, 93 pounds. I feel good, I look good.
75 days on the program, I've lost 53 pounds, 41.5 inches. You're not hungry.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, it was very much the tale of two very good teams today in Esco, Minnesota on the softball diamond. We've got undefeated Esco welcoming in one loss on the season, Proctor, the first of a doubleheader that happened earlier today. We'll pick this one up in the second inning. Madison Walsh was dealing for the Rails today in the circle, gets Jaden Karpinen to go down swinging. That strands an Eskimo in scoring position, and the Rails still trail by a run. But not for long. Sophie Parendo singles in the top of the third. The slice to left field keeps her safe at first, and that'll set this up. Abigail Hansen right through the legs of first baseman Zoe Johnson. Mackenzie Gunderson will score from second, and the Rails take a 2-1 lead. That's how they'd exit the top of the third, but leave it to Walsh to allow no runners on base in the bottom half. 2 strikeouts alone in the frame. She had 14 in the game one, en route to a 9-2 Proctor win. And the Ashland baseball team has put together a strong start to their spring campaign. 7 games and a perfect 7-0 record, including wins over Duluth Marshall, Northwestern, and St. Croix Central. Well, today the Ordockers were in Superior for a doubleheader against the Spartans. Ashland strikes first in the top of the second. Ty Obey chops one to the mound. The throw will get away, but that brings in Cade Jolma from third to make it a 2-0 Ordockers game. But the Spartans have an immediate answer. Bottom of 2 runners on the corners. Mason Stenberg pokes one into the opposite field, and Jason Samarza is waved into home. They were not done. It turned into a 5-run inning for the Spartans with RBIs from Tucker Johnson and Ethan Ray. Superior goes on to hand the Oredockers their first loss on the season, and they get the Game 2 sweep. 12-6 was the final in Game 1, 8-1 the final in Game 2. After an exciting bridge battle of UMAC tennis last week, the St. Scholastica men's tennis team is heading back to some familiar ground. The program was awarded one of the 31 automatic qualifying bids for the 37-team NCAA tennis tournament after taking down the UW Superior Yellow Jackets on Friday for the program's 19th UMAC title. It is the second time the program will make an appearance at the tournament, and the second time it'll be in Chicago. The team says in a rather weird year, they had the confidence that they would get it done.
It's, in its own way, it's kind of a quiet group of guys, you know, but we're kind of older. I mean, and you kind of know what to expect, so try to keep them in a good spot and just enjoy it. This was a different year, though. It was a little more stressed as a coach because I did the unknown. And it's probably no different than many jobs. It's just you weren't sure you could have everybody at practice every day. You wait for that phone call that I'm out for 2 weeks. And knock on wood, we didn't get it. I give the players credit because I think they kind of put themselves in spots where they weren't going to get around a lot of people.
St. Scholastica draws Illinois Tech in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Match day and time has yet to be announced. This will be the last time the Saints compete as a member of the UMAC Conference. If you missed out on the registration for CJ Ham's youth camp, the Vikings fullback is giving you another chance. The former Duluth Denfeld Hunter announced that he will now be offering a second session for his camp in the evening for those who missed out on the first round of registration. The new second session of the CJ Ham youth camp will be from 3 to 7 p.m. on July 17th at Denfeld High School. The first session, which is now full, runs from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. We have the info on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. Just click on the sports tab. And the Milwaukee Bucks only have 5 games left before the playoffs begin later this month. Tonight, they were down in San Antonio, and we have to start in the first quarter because the Bucks were on a rack attack. Brooke Lopez, with no regard for DeMar DeRozan. A few minutes later, something we're more accustomed to is get out of the lane. Giannis is coming on through. He led all scorers with 28 on the evening, but from there on out, it was all Spurs. They took a 23-point lead at the half and cruised home for the win. The Bucks are now the 3 seed in the East, 4 back with 4 to go. And that's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
New Duluth Auto is the Duluth used car dealer. We have plenty of makes and models to choose from. Nissan, Honda, Toyota, and we even carry multiple options for our most popular vehicle, the Subaru Forester. Large cargo space, all-wheel drive. What's not to love? All of our vehicles are priced under $20,000. To make these deals even sweeter, there is a 1 to 5 year warranty included on all vehicles. Give us a call, stop by, or view our inventory online at newduluthauto.net. Because here at New Duluth Auto, we are your Duluth used car dealer.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
Good boy. You're such a good boy.
I think it's time we got a dog.
But my landlord won't let me have pets.
I've got an idea about that, too.
You've got big dreams and a bold imagination. Let's see how we can help. National Bank of Commerce. We make more possible.
After 40 years, Skips Home Center is closing forever at the end of May 2021. All inventory must be sold in addition to our fixtures and inventory. We have more than 1,000 kitchen and bathroom cabinets and cabinet doors for immediate sale, in addition to closeout doors, windows, hardware, faucets, sinks, marble tops, and so much more. We are currently operating at reduced hours, so call in advance while inventory is still available. All remaining inventory and fixtures will be sold at public auction on June 1st, 2021.
I'm Dr. Mariah Scooby, and I'm a general surgeon at St. Luke's. I grew up in a small town in northern Minnesota, and I also had the opportunity to travel internationally doing medical outreach. And what was really striking was the health disparities. I was driven to become a physician to address those disparities and to bring the very best of healthcare to every person, regardless of their circumstance, background, or location.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Our buy one, get one for a buck suit and sport coat sale is now in progress. Hundreds of options. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.